Alrighty, recording has begun. So, the fourth preview of RimWorld Biotech, RimWorld's newest DLC, DLC number 3, just came out. This has been out for less than an hour. I've read none of it. We are here on the stream to read through it, hopefully blindly together. I know some of you probably couldn't wait, and discuss what we think this means and what it means for the first playthrough that we're all going to be starting on Friday, or at least I'm going to be starting on Friday. So yeah, I'm going to read through this, react to it, and give my thoughts from a min-max standpoint and a war crime standpoint, and go from there. So if you haven't seen the other previews, I have videos out for 1.4 information, biotech announcement information, and I have the other 3 previews as well. All of those are on YouTube, so check out the YouTube channel, Adam vs. Everything. And it will also, if you're viewing this on YouTube, it'll be in the pinned comment and in the description on all of them. All right. Biotech preview number 4, Xenotypes, WOrld Factions, and the Dark Blood Drinkers. Meet the new factions and existing xenotypes, as well as a blood-drinking cult of immortals. It's Yttakin here. The jerk himself, punk game developer. Ruining my October. No, he's making it better, but I still won't forgive him for it. What I really won't forgive him for, though, is RimWorld's. Yttakin, bringing you our final biotech preview covering the Xenohumans who inhabit the world, their faction, and the mysterious blood-drinking Sanguophages, and biotech's price and release date. Just a reminder that biotech releases this week, Friday, October 21st, 2022. Wishlist it now to get a reminder when it's out. Like, we need a reminder. Read the previous previews. Like I said, I have all of these plus 1.4 reactions and discussion up on YouTube, description and in the comments of all these different ones if you're watching this later on VOD or YouTube. Version 1.4 is on the testing now on the unstable. We know about that one already. So if you haven't already, you can test 1.4 up until Friday when it launches. You do that just in Steam, right click on your game and go into betas. And in the beta list, you can go back to previous versions. You can also put it on unstable. Unstable is the one, it doesn't actually say 1.4. It just literally says unstable. So, alrighty. Xenohumans in the world. As you've seen before, biotech lets you create your own kinds of xenohumans by mixing and matching from over 200 different genes. Absolutely insane. But this isn't just a player tool. Xenohumans are part of the universe of RimWorld. Whereas RimWorld's base game has all human factions, with biotech you'll interact with a variety of xenohumans and their new factions. We designed the xenohuman types to emerge naturally from RimWorld's fictional universe, play distinctively from each other, and enrich the game as foes, prisoners, gene farms, allies, and colonists. Embedding xenohumans into the world helps the game in a lot of ways. It lets players experience the new gene-linked abilities both as player tools and as enemy threats. So we will have enemies that have like that gene that we read about that is basically another tough. So you might literally run into enemies that have that gene and tough, which will be very, very hard to take down. So that'll be interesting to see. Robust was the name. Thank you. NPC xenohumans are a way for you to access mini-genes by capturing a foe and placing them in Gene Extractor. Seeing other xenohumans helps show the player the kinds of things that are possible with their own genetic experiments. Also, the xenohuman types work as a scaffolding for more content, like the Sanguophages, I guess that's what it is, Sanguophages. Special secret quests. More on this later. Secret quests. Fundamentally, xenohumans make the human world more diverse. Factions feel more different than they have, or when they have different combat abilities and physical characteristics. I do like that right now, and how it's always been. If you're fighting a human faction, you basically have tribal, and then you have outlander / pirate, right? So you have tribal weaponry, and you have industrial weaponry. That's pretty much it. Empire brings, you know, some of the spacer items, but yeah. The recruits you get from different places will have more exotic abilities. Characters are more distinct from each other in gameplay mechanics and style. Handling a group of frenzied fire breathers launching burning arrows is different from stopping the wolf escort sent by furry Yttakin riflemen. Fighting Neanderthals is a slugfest. Fighting wasters is a chokehold. Fighting Impids is a flame war. So if you are wondering what these different factions are, that was in the last preview as well, so, or one of the previous playthroughs, where they talked about these in more detail. But yeah, if out of this, they're pretty self-explanatory. But if you're wondering about the wasters, it said before, are going to be able to utilize the basically chemical warfare. They will be able to shoot out like toxic gases and chemicals and whatnot to blind your colonists, to have them choking and you know, running away from the spots that you're trying to get cover in. And the rest are a little bit self-explanatory, but if you want more of that information, that's back in the previous previews. So writing the name generators for each xenotype culture was a ton of fun. Let's look at the xenotypes in biotech. So first, the Pigskins. Let's take a look at the image. Actually, the image is larger where I had it, but oh well. So there's the little pig people. We've seen them in a lot of the previews already. They are slaughtering pigs, which seems a little odd. That would be like us keeping, I don't know, like bonobo. We have instead of cow farms for beef, we have bonobo farms. That seems a little crazy. But who am I to judge? So anyway, the pig people are yeah. What a waste of resources. Look at this corner here. Jeez. All right. Pigskins are human-pig hybrids, which are capable of two-legged movement, tool use, and speech, but which also retain many pig-like qualities. They are hardy and can eat almost anything without getting sick, but their trotter-shaped hands leave them at a disadvantage when attempting to precisely manipulate tools and objects. They don't see well at a distance, so pigskin gangs usually focus on close-range weapons. They also have a strong taste for explosives. All right, I really like this because when we first saw the images in the other previews, it was like, all right, so you'll be able to look like pigs and there will be furries, you know, but it'll basically be the same because you'll just have furries in place of colonists or whatever, and then you can change their genes, sure, but it's kind of cool that the different xenotypes, different races, are going to have distinct advantages and disadvantages, and that they can share a colony together. So just having furries is enough for you. So yeah, this is kind of neat. So there'll be, you might end up in a situation where you have different xenotypes, different races in your colony specifically for different reasons, you know? So the pig people are not very good at manipulation, but they're good at melee. So maybe you want your melee squad to be mainly pig people, you know? Kind of cool. I like that. Pigskins were made for their organs. Uncomfortable with the idea of harvesting organs from baseliner humans, a long-gone government merged human DNA into pigs to make the animals produce more easily transplantable hearts and livers. They succeeded, but the resulting creatures became more human-like than anyone anticipated. We get lore. Lore. For anyone that's like, wow, lore in RimWorld, there is already lore in RimWorld. There is a Google document out from the developers that's been out as they update over time that has all the lore in there. You can read about how the mechs came to be, how the insects came to be. You can read about the herb worlds. You can read about the glitter worlds. That is an actual thing that's not in the game, but it is kind of like their story Bible that they use outside of the game to keep things in that line. That's how we knew that there were probably not going to be aliens. There were going to be mutations. So anyway, check out that document sometime. It's a dry read, but it's pretty cool if you like RimWorld, which I assume if you're watching this, you must like RimWorld. The Pigskins faction is the Rough Pig Union, a loose union of hardy pigskin townships. They're willing to make friends even with thin snouts. That's like, it reminds me of like elf and humans, you know, knife ears and yeah. Anyway, thin snouts. But they're also ready to toss a bomb and gnaw human gristle when it suits them. Treat them with respect, and they'll offer a trotter to an ally in need. Turn against them, and the last thing you hear might be a triumphant battle squeal. It'll also be interesting to see which of these factions are default tribal tech versus Outlander tech, or if that's out the window and you can have both, or some kind of mixture, something new, right? So right now, like when you try to call in tribals to help you, they're like, oh, we're too far away and we don't have drop pods, so you're on your own. It'll be interesting to see if you can actually call in pig allies, and if they come in on foot or something, do they get there soon enough? Man, pig leather. Yeah, what kind of leather do they give? See ya, tit. All right, on to the Impids. The Impids. All right, let's take a look at this before we go into it. So the Impids, they are the horned. They have tribal weaponry in this screenshot and tribal clothing, and they are breathing fire. They're breathing fire. Half man, half pig, half organs. Wait, that's 3 halves. All right, the Impids. Made for desert life, Impid cultures live on many RimWorlds and dry death worlds. Impids are extremely fast-moving, easily tolerate high temperatures, and can spew fire from their mouths. Though they are masters on the sand, Impids struggle in other environments. They are terrible with farming. They fight well at range, but in close combat, their physical weakness becomes apparent. Interesting. Fast-moving, good at ranged. That's like one of the main things I like in my colony. Terrible at farming. You know, there's going to be genes now, lots of them, that make it so you eat less food, so no burn tunnels for them. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm sure they can still burn, but yeah, can they handle 1,000 Celsius in our burn tunnel? Outlanders call them dust runners because of their speed over open terrain and resistance to heat. Some tribes call them devils because of their horns and because they burn their enemies. Guys, am I an Impid? Have I been an Impid all along? The savage Impid tribe has no intention of coexisting peacefully with anyone else. Their warriors are experts at using their natural speed and flame attacks to burn the towns and children of other people's Impid tribes. Combat tactics usually center on rapid approach, incendiary attacks using both handheld fire weapons and their fire spewing. So this sounds like one of the savage tribes, obviously. It says savage tribe right there. Savage tribe implies that you will never be able to ally these. So I think I'm an Impid, yes. Having been on the planet for thousands of years, the origin of this tribe are lost in myth. They might descend from a group of settlers who lost their technology or an Impid community in some long-ruined civilization. Pyromaniac only run when... This is kind of cool, though, because immediately you think... Impid confirmed. Immediately you think, like, throw everything else out the window and you can be like, all right, let's do a Pigman playthrough. Let's do an Impid playthrough, you know? Hamsters, thank you for the gift subs. Hamsters, I'll come back and thank you again. Alerts are not working today for some reason, so I didn't hear it, but I very much appreciate it. So I'll be back. I'll thank you again. Thank you, hamsters. You know I appreciate it. All right. The Yttakin. I'm going to go with Yttakin. We're just going to call them Yttakin. Yttakin. Not Yttakin. No, they're Yttakin. All right, let's take a look at them. So these are the furries, and they seem to, judging by this screenshot and previous ones, and we're about to find out, attack with animals as well. I think it's Yttakin. Yttakin. To me, they're attacking. They're attacking. Pronounced roughly as Yttakin. 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 There it is. Pronounced roughly as attacking. No. Yttakin. Descend from colonists engineered to thrive on ultra-cold planets. Their great size and fur make them hardy in frozen environments. Yttakin share a psychic connection with wildlife and can summon animals to their side during battles. They're not fast or energetic or precise, but can keep going when others would have collapsed long before. Since they migrated off their icy birth world of Yttakin settlements live on many planets. Their fur, roaring voices, and aversion to urban living sometimes leads naive outsiders to believe they are simple-minded animals. Quick-minded Yttakin are happy to make good use of such wrong beliefs, whether at the negotiating table or on the battlefield. So they are holding Outlander weapons. Interesting. The faction of Yttakin pirates choose to be isolated. They refuse to deal with outsiders. They're quick to call animal warriors against anyone who threatens or disrespects them. Underestimating their wild animal companions would be a mistake. However, a captured and recruited Yttakin can be a strong ally. Okay. So we got the pig people, what seem like an outlander. We got the imps, which are a savage tribe. And then we got the Yttakin, which sounds like it said something about... These ones could be an outlander or a pirate. Obviously, there are at least a pirate group of them, so there might be both. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. The Neanderthals. All right, let's take a look at these ones. We have gotten no information about these ones so far, I think. They're the ones with those wide facial features. They're all, well, they're almost all big, too. They big. They are definitely wearing tribal stuff, so... All right, the Neanderthals are stocky, powerful-built humanoids. Their most salient characteristic is that they are difficult to hurt. They're very resistant to injury, and their strong immune system protect them from infection. However, without ever having evolved in a complex civilization, they're less adept than baseliner humans at intellectual and social tasks. It's alright, just get more of them on the research table, it's fine. Their impulsiveness can make them dangerously aggressive. Are they gonna all have like a minor bloodlust? Homo neanderthalensis was originally an archaic population of human or hominids that emerged over 200,000 years ago during the Pleistocene epoch. After they were replaced by and merged with humans 30,000 years ago, they were absent for tens of thousands of years until scientists resurrected them from ancient DNA. Neanderthals now survive in a sub-society on some settled planets. On the RimWorlds, Neanderthals tribes carve out the same existence as their Earth ancestors did so long ago. So long ago. The fierce Neanderthal tribe lives in the deep wilderness. They are open to peaceful trade, but are otherwise unfriendly and territorial. Warriors from their tribe won't hesitate to bash in the skulls of anyone they deem dangerous. Their numbers and the extreme amounts of damage they absorb before falling make them serious foes despite their lack of technology and analytical ability. Imagine robust, tough Neanderthals in cataphract armor. They're gonna be really hard to kill. I want to get a colony of them together. We have slow research, doesn't matter. Everyone is a Hulk. That's crazy. It also might mean that gene is literally a baseline gene, and that's what makes them that. We'll have to see. They might just have that baseline gene, so they might just be robust. But either way, tough plus robust plus cataphract armor seems like it would be ungodly. As close to Steve Forge as we can get. Having been on this planet for countless generations, they have no memory of how they got here. They might be the descendants of a Neanderthal service caste from a dead civilization, or even the leftovers from some ancient science experiment. Oh, we haven't even heard of these ones at all. The Dirtmoles. You guys know that tunnelers are my favorite. Tunnelers are my favorite ideology. I mean, if you don't count min-maxing, like the thematic ones. Tunnelers are my favorite. Look at this. We got tamed bugs in there. Obviously, you can already tame bugs in the game, but they're not really worth it. So we'll have to see if they have anything additional with bugs here. Also, we see that the developers, as always, just like running conduit just friggin' everywhere on the floor, because why not? Dirtmoles. With gray skin adapted to artificial light, Dirtmoles thrive in cramped and dark spaces where combat and travel happen over short distances. They are extremely capable at digging or mining tasks. So imagine a mining specialist tunneler Dirtmole. Holy crap, you would dig that out like nothing. What noobs. In the open, however, they suffer from a sensitivity to light, slow speed, and poor eyesight at a distance. These are prime candidates for a sunblocker run. Put some drill arms on there. It'll just walk through the mountain. After the first tunnel colonies failed due to the stress of confinement, colonization agencies began genetically altering colonists to live without open space or sunlight. This xenotype are known as Dirtmoles. Today, Dirtmoles have expanded out of their original tunnel homes and rule many confined spaces in the anthrosphere. They can be found in deep mines, cramped low-tech spacecraft, and teeming by the billions in the dark underlayers of countless herb worlds. Nox, thank you for the subscription also. Thank you, Nox, for the gift sub to Boogie Lee. Oh, man, I am so on the fence of what to do now on our first playthrough. There's going to be so many playthroughs we can do. It's insane. Billions! They are billions. Less known about this faction than the other ones, so that's interesting. Interesting. All right. Genies. Genies are looking technological there. Look at that. Let's take a look here. Designed to be engineers, Genies' delicate bones and natural aptitude with machines allow them to manipulate devices with remarkable precision. They are emotionally cold and can follow orders where others might panic. Ooh. However, they are fragile, and their amplified nerve impulses make them easy to debilitate with relatively little pain. With so much of their brains dedicated to analyzing machines, they lack the neural hardware to analyze emotions, so they sometimes come off as socially inept. Their dead calm makes it even harder for them to relate to what they see as madly hot-headed baseliner humans. Wow. Genies were engineered thousands of years ago by a long-disturbed space navy to hold engineering positions on large starships. Today, Genies still serve as engineers in great cities and fleets, but many can also be found working as lawyers, pilots, and musicians. So basically, Preview 4 is out. It literally just came out, yeah. And if you missed any of this one, I will be putting it up on YouTube immediately, like literally uploading it as soon as the stream's done. So basically, these ones are good at production, good at research, but they're wimps, pretty much. They're not good at social, and they're wimps. But it sounds like they're not impacted by as many mood-related things, or maybe their break threshold is way different. But it definitely sounds like they don't break down as easily. So, man, I already have ideas for all of these, so they're kind of like Vulcans in a way. Yeah. The Hussars. Oh boy. Look at these red-eyed killers. They have power armor. They got weapons. They got red eyes. Do they have wings? Where are the wings at? All right. The Hussars are engineered soldiers. They fight aggressively and with precision. They heal fast, thrive in extreme temperatures, and freely ingest military drugs. These ones were built for raiding. That is going to be pretty friggin' awesome. Man, they have to update enemy bases. Like, I know there are mods for it, but man, oh man, if this update doesn't do anything to enemy bases, they are missing out, because this is like ideal for being out on the road and just raiding. They have a genetic dependence on the drug Go Juice, which also makes them less likely to rebel against their commanders. What? They all just come addicted to Go Juice. They're gonna be, oh man, they're gonna be hyped up on Go Juice all the time. 1.5 map and old faction update. I would love that. They just come as Go Juice addicts. That's crazy. While Hussars' emotions make them dangerous in combat, they can't relate to baseliner humans. They are famous for their blood-red eyes and Hussar stare, a dead expression that unsettles many people. Their lack of expression and burning, aggressive nature has led to many violent misunderstandings. There's some bloodlust. There's some bloodlust. Bloodlust Go Juice sounds like a bad mix. A bad mix. They're not even just addicted. They literally can't survive without it. They are dependent on it. So not even just like, oh, they'll get over it. They will die. It's like Luciferium to them, maybe. In most societies where they live, Hussars are kept separated from the rest of the population. Hussars are single-purpose tools, and they generally aren't bothered by the fact. That's so interesting. I was actually just thinking about this too. Imagine that you have a base, right? And then you have a smaller base over to the side where people don't really go to. You have a smaller base to where the Hussars are zoned. And maybe you deliver food over there, you know, and that's it. You just leave them. It's like, all right, they get bedrooms over in the corner of the base. We're all over here in the barracks. Just leave them over there. Maybe put them in some cryopods, something, and you just zone them away. And then a raid happens and you draft them. It's like, all right, it's friggin' go time. That is pretty cool. Imagine having a colony of like the Genies that are doing all the work and the research and getting the ship ready, and then they just have like a pasture of Hussars ready to friggin' go. Paste dispenser, something. Cryopod defense. You have a kill tunnel with cryopods literally in there, and a raid's coming. It's like, time to wake up the Hussars. Have someone come and get them out, and then you run away. So crazy. So crazy. What are these? This is part of the biotech, the new DLC. Man, there's so many things we could do with that. That's just, it's really awesome. Like, the energy cost, yeah, but who cares about that? Energy. They'll defend the energy. Hussar perimeter. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome. Highmates? Highmates? We haven't heard anything about these yet either. All right. Oh boy. Check these out. Golden grand statues, royal beds, carpets. These are going to be high maintenance. Thrumbo pets. Oh boy. empathic, and effortlessly beautiful. These design companions and concubines have the unique ability to psychically bond with a mate. In a certain context, they seem to be perfect, happy, charming, and kind. However, they are also inept at manual tasks, physically weak, and mentally incapable of violence, even if their life depended on it. Guys, this might be the xenotype that you see the least in my colonies. The least. They're basically like royals. They're not really slaves because slaves can do work. These are more like the old original royals. Concubines, though. So these are maybe to help you pump out babies. On a few wealthy worlds, Highmate xenogerms are commercially available, and some people became Highmates as a sort of career. However, many societies find them abhorrent, either because they distract people from forming natural families, or because they are humans shaped to serve the pleasures of another. On such worlds, they are either reserved as playthings of the powerful or banned entirely. This particular line of Highmate fits the fashion of classical Novoromance, but many other variants exist. Wow. So, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, yeah. Alrighty. Cool. So we got some escorts, some live-in high-class escorts that won't be able to do anything else. That connects to the lore. Oh yeah, of the love implants or whatever it was. Yeah. Alrighty. Nova Roma, as in Rome. Oh, New Rome. Wasters. We've heard a little bit about wasters, but we haven't seen these kind of pictures yet. So the wasters are all going around either already wearing gas masks or probably already immune to the pollution, and they are making some drugs there, pumping out pollution. We got the OnlyFans cast. That's right. Wasters are gaunt-faced, gray-skinned, aggressive, immune to toxic pollution, almost impervious to disease, and can ingest as much psychite and wake-up drugs as they wish with no ill effects. As many psychite drugs as you want, including wake-up, with no ill effects? Holy crap. That is an incredibly strong passive. Holy crap. Their toxin adaptive metabolism means they must consume some form of psychite to survive. Usually flake or yayo. Man, that is incredibly strong. 6 flake a day. Holy crap. How much yayo do you need? All of it. All of it. Adam, it's pronounced yayo. I know in real life it is, okay? But in the royalty song alignment, they say yayo. So I specifically pronounce it that way. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that because I know I'm gonna get comments, as I always do. Originally engineered to prevent resettlement of post-apocalyptic death worlds, wasters are living area denial weapons. Waster pirates armed with toxic weapons are the bane of many frontier peoples, both on the RimWorlds and in the depths of the RimWorld hyperstructures. The faction of Waster pirates are a diverse collection of violent Xenohumans. They are mostly Wasters with a smattering of Hussars, Neanderthals, Genies, Dirtmoles. Genies. Guys, they have 2 smatterings of Genies. Watch out. Yttakins and Pigskins. They have little interest in building or farming, preferring to take their sustenance from others using violence. Their technology level depends mostly on who they've managed to steal from recently. I hope that's an actual... So that sounds more like a lore thing, but I would love for that to be something like a bonus for raiding. Like, it would be pretty awesome. Like, if you destroy a tribal base, maybe you get some research points towards a tribal level research. You destroy an Outlander base, you get either a whole research or maybe some points towards a one of the technologies, you know? So that would be pretty cool. I hope this isn't just a lore thing. That would be another not a way to force, I shouldn't say that, but it would be another reason to go out on the map, even if the map's not as interesting as it should be. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that's just, you know. Mostly, they carry gunpowder weapons, though some prefer to stab victims at close range. They'll always be a threat. Encourage you to go out on the map, yeah. All right, the Sanguophages. Look at this. We got the Death Sleep, which we've read about already. We got Death Sleep there. We've seen this image already. They've got lots of different prisoners, including dead ones of different factions. And they've got what appears to be blood bags. So I got a feeling this is going to be maybe the new ending. We'll see. Minor spoilers in this section. Skip if you want the purest play experience. You saw new weapons? Where did you see new weapons? I see chain shotgun, AR, SMG, machine pistol, auto pistol. You're just dumb and blind? Oh, okay. Sorry. You got excited? No, it's all good. I'm going to read it. Sanguophages pass among other xenotypes undetected, while concealing superhuman powers and working to satiate their genetic need for human blood. They are subjects of wild stories and children's nightmares, and their very existence is debated. They do not reveal themselves without good reason. Powered by archites, unique micro-machines created by Archotech superintelligence, Sanguophages' abilities go far beyond normal genetic enhancement. They are mentally adept across domains and preternaturally beautiful. In combat, they can launch deadly spines and heal injured friends. They don't age or die naturally and never suffer from disease or poison. A Sanguophage can make a new Sanguophage by re-implanting their own xenogerm into a person. Heal injured friends during combat? Now, right off the bat, this stuff is going to be hard on no pause, especially like to manage all this crap, but it's going to be almost like Psycast. Yeah, almost like Psycast. Sounds like. The price of all this is the endless red thirst. Sanguophages must regularly consume hemogen derived from human blood. Hemogen acts as a sort of fuel for the Sanguophages' power. They're easily destroyed by fire and slowed down by UV light. Ooh. Sanguophages must also go into death rest every now and then, where they enter a dormant state for several days in the darkness to regenerate their powers. This process of death rest can be enhanced by a variety of technological structures. Chief among them is the death rest casket. Ouch. So they seem very strong, but they're going to be unconscious. They're going to be in a coma every now and then. The death rest casket is an enclosed med casket that accelerates the process of death rest. It can connect to other devices which confer additional bonuses on the death rester. The number of devices that can connect depends on the person's death rest capacity, which can be seen by selecting them. The devices to connect are the hemo pump. This blood refining pump increases the amount of hemogen a death resting person can store in their body. There's the hemogen amplifier. This device leaves a death rester in a hemogen amplified state, so they gain more from any source using a gland probe and blood analyzer. It links with a death resting person, stimulating hemogen glands into a more active state. Glucosoid pump. This device allows a death rester to move faster after a death rest is completed. It pumps the blood with extra muscle signaling factors while cleaning waste products from muscle tissue. Interesting. Pretty interesting. Psychofluid pump. This device enhances the psychic sensitivity of a death resting person by rhythmically stimulating neural tissues. These are going to be incredible psycasters as well. Like, just not even thinking about those other skills. And this is a lot of this is going to be, how long does it take them? How long is death rest? That's the big question. Death rest accelerator. This device connects with a death resting person and makes death rest complete quicker. It enhances the effect of the death rest casket using finer blood analysis and more powerful chemicals. I hate words like quicker, faster, sooner, longer, within range, stuff like that in patch notes. Passive Exile is bad about having like nearby have eight different nearbys, right? So I would really like to know the actual numbers. We'll have to see that. It's probably like 5 to 7. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 5 like baseline and 3 with making it quicker. I don't think they would make it take as long as Neuroquake. So it's not patch notes. Yeah, I know. But even in the 1.4 patch notes, they said things, you know, that weren't precise. So it's always kind of eh. But yeah, I would like to know the days. We'll have to see that right away on Friday. But yeah, I don't think it would be as long as a psychic coma. I can't imagine it would be as long as a psychic coma. My gut tells me like 5-ish days baseline and maybe getting it down to like 3 days. And that's, you know, my reason for that is I feel like it should be within a Cassandra cycle. It should be within a Cassandra attack cycle, and Cassandra has a you know, basically she'll attack for, let's just call it 5 days. I won't get into it. I have a guide out on Cassandra and other storytellers and their attack patterns or whatever. But now if it's longer than that, if it's longer than a, you know, Neuroquake coma, then I don't know. We'll see. There's a secret faction of Sanguophages. Every now and then, you may get an opportunity to perform a service for them by giving protections, secrecy, or salvation. If you succeed, one of them may offer you the dark gift of immortality. Alternatively, if a Sanguophage can be disabled and captured, then a new Sanguophage can be made against the Blood Drinker's will. The first Sanguophage appeared thousands of years ago, when the Lord Explorer, Varandur, sought to control a hyper-intelligent Archotech and found himself transformed by it instead. Every Sanguophage is descended from him. Since then, Sanguophages have often been hunted because of their destabilizing power and their need for blood. Since they can pass for baseliners, many live in hiding among typical humans. It's interesting. It's interesting. Imagine taking a prisoner in, but you don't know they're a Sanguophage. And then, I mean, I guess if there's any prisoner that you're like, I probably don't want them, you might as well just rip out their genes and see what's in there. Their numbers are unknown. Some think they are legends of rare irrelevancies. Some believe Sanguophages secretly direct entire human civilizations. The stories speak of eternal lords ruling billions from slate-black space stations, or directing blood sacrifices at conferences in the underlayers of the deepest herb worlds. If you want to engineer your own xenotype with Sanguophage-like powers, you can find copies of the Sanguophage's special superhuman genes via quests and trade. Nice. So, if you want the immortality thing without actually having to, you know, go the Sanguophage route, then you can probably do that. Might be rare, but you can do it. However, many of them require a unique resource called Archites to be reinstalled in a new person. We've heard about Archites a little bit before in the other previews. Check those out. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the pinned comment and in the description. Archites are rare, but can be found via quests, trade, and other special means. Okay. So I do like that it specifically says trade. They are rare, but they will be tradable. So perhaps you can find them caravanning with certain factions, and trade ships will probably have them as well. I'm glad it's not only quests and only special means. Yeah, so that's nice at least. They'll be rare, but you can get them. You're not going to go full games without getting them, like with Res Serum, you know? So, it is possible to be a Sanguophage and another xenotype at the same time. Pigskins Sanguophages look pretty great in their dark hooded robes. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Preview number 4 just dropped. Wow, it's like that's what we're reading right now. Thank you, Sim. It's literally what we're doing on the stream right now, as the title says. But yeah, thank you. I know a lot of people were excited to tell me. You can start the game as a Sanguophage with a single human servant if you want to build your own Blood Harvest Empire from scratch. We made sure to design all the character-oriented enhancements so they can be used freely in any combination. We are very much looking forward to the stories of people making their favorite colonists into a royal, a psycaster, a priest, a mechanitor, a unique xenotype, and a Sanguophage all at once. Crazy, crazy. All right, Biotech's price. Biotech can or will be priced slightly differently from our previous expansions. It will basically be 25 USD. We hired a lot of people and took a lot of time. 15 months to make Biotech. So they were working on Biotech when Ideology came out. Obviously, I guess. To make Biotech, because that's what it took to properly explore the ideas that we set out to explore. The feature set got big enough that we seriously discussed splitting it into 2 expansions, but decided to keep it as 1. I talked about that. This absolutely feels like 2 expansions. If they had come out with just the gene stuff and children, genes and family, no one would have batted an eye at that being a full expansion. If they had come out with only the Mechanitor stuff and pollution, no one would have batted an eye at that being its own expansion. This definitely feels like 2 expansions. And I already have seen people complaining that they're going to have to spend $20. But I mean, money is relative. Obviously, $25 is going to be a lot for some people and going to be nothing for others. But I will say, if you compare it with other forms of entertainment, it is a steal. It's going to be a steal. I am going to spend literally thousands of hours on it. I'm sure if you're playing RimWorld this far and you're getting this, you'll probably at least spend hundreds of hours on it. People will go spend $25 at the theater and not really think about it. They will spend $25 at a restaurant for a single meal, not even really think about it. $25 is yeah, it is a lot of money for some, and trust me, I'm not that far removed from that being a ton of money for me, but I do think it's worth it. I am not upset by the price at all. Some companies have a cost-first model where they decide upfront to make an expansion in a fixed time price, e.g. 6 months, $20, and force the creative process to live in those constraints. We take ideas and build them until they feel well-rounded and complete. We believe that different ideas naturally take different amounts of resources to explore, so it must be okay for different expansions to have different prices. For the same reason, different games have different prices. Forcing every expansion to have the same price would mean trying to squeeze or stretch every idea into the same amount of production resources, which is not a path to creative flourishing. That's why our expansions aren't all priced the same, because they're different in scope, because that's what the ideas wanted. Yeah, like imagine comparing this to royalty. It is absolutely nuts. Does this count as a tax write-off for streamers? It does for me, yeah, it does. So, people will pay that for a skin in a game? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. All right. They could have split it into 2 DLCs and had both of them be $20. Absolutely. So anyway, I'm not upset by that at all. As we already know, Biotech's release day is this Friday. 1.4 and Biotech 1.4 is free. You can check out my 1.4 video of what's coming to 1.4 as the base game if you're not getting this DLC right away. Again, the link is in the comments and description if you're watching this later on YouTube. But it will be out this Friday, October 21st. Now, judging by the release time of previous DLCs, it will probably be out by 1 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. I will be streaming it live. Like, I will be there waiting for it to go live. And as soon as it's available, I will be playing. A lot of people are asking me what my first playthrough is going to be. And the answer is, I am just going to do whatever. Like, I'm not going to have a themed run. I'm not going to be like, all right, we are specifically going for the mole people, you know? We're just going to play. I'm going to start out with a new start. The new start is a Mechanitor start, actually. So it's like almost like a Rich Explorer, only you're a Mechanitor. So I will start with that one, and then we'll just go from there, and we'll see what happens. We will, you know, get a colony of whatever we find. We'll try them out. We'll look at the new quests, and we'll just evolve naturally and go from there. Now, I will say this is still not mentioned. A new win condition does not say a new win condition. So either they are not adding one this time. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the vampire start. Well, it depends, because they said in some other previews that you will be able to start with one of these genetically modified people. So I don't know if it means like you can just make one of your colonists as that, or if they're going to be entire new scenario starts. But either way, I'll do one of the new starts, and then we'll just go from there and we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, it'll be out this Friday, and I will be on immediately. A new win condition would be really nice. Yeah, I was really hoping for one, but maybe not. Maybe not. Why not in the first playthrough having all Xenohumans? Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll just do whatever comes our way. If we get recruitments from all the different xenotypes, then sure, we'll get them, and we'll try them out. That's right, anus tart. So, let me go ahead and final thoughts about this. 1 p.m. Eastern time, my time, is usually when they go live. I'll be on earlier than that, just waiting for it to go live. So, we'll let the storyteller lead us. We'll probably play as Randy. We'll probably do a baseline map, so we're not fighting the environment while we're trying out new stuff. Maybe one that at least has a winter, you know, something like that. But anyway, just a little recap thoughts about this all together. This is pretty awesome, and there's several different ways you could go with it. So what I like about this, again, I said this during all of the updates, is that this is very good for super casual passive players and story type players, and it's very good for min-max like challenge run type players and everywhere in between. I really like that it's bridging the gap. It's not all story, it's not all combat, it's a lot of both and everything in the middle, which is really awesome. So I'm really happy with that. And what I also like is that it opens up so many new playthroughs, because if you think about it, you could do a single playthrough of every single one of the new xenotypes. You could do a faction or a playthrough where you have all of them and you specialize them for what they're good at. So you have, you know, the Genies doing your research and production, but they never go out and fight. In order to get the mood buff from being married to people, you could have everyone have their own Highmates, significant other. That way they're psychically bonded, and you keep these people inside the base and safe and happy, and the psychic bond makes those others happy. Then you have the Hussars, who are on their own little portion of your base that go out and do the fighting. You know, you have a mixture. You have a mixture. That would be a lot of fun too. And it seems like it would tie really well with ideology. So I'm super looking forward to this. Again, I will be live with this on Friday as soon as it goes live, and I'll be putting it up on YouTube right away too. So let me end this recording, and then we'll keep talking about this for a little bit in the stream. I'll catch up in chat, which sorry, I've been ignoring chat a little bit. I'm trying to get this read and done, but I am going to catch up now. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. Those of you watching on the VOD, keep an eye out for RimWorld stuff. It's going to be coming to the channel much quicker when this is out, so you won't have to wait months. I'm hiring an editor, so it's if you are sick of the long form content, soon you're going to have both. You can have short form and long form, so hopefully everyone will be happier. So anyway, yeah, really looking forward to RimWorld's next DLC, Biotech. Wish it started with an M, but Biotech, Biotech it is.